Hola friends and welcome to our page. My name is Maria. If this happens to be your first time visiting, welcome to Maria's Fake Bake. My name is Maria. And if you're watching this part of the video, you're most likely watching the replays. If you don't mind hitting hashtag replay so I can say hello to you. Also, if you don't mind sprinkling me out, sharing me out, commenting, and subscribing if you have yet not done so. Okay, and of course, and that would help my page grow or my channel grow as well, depending on where you're watching this. All right, so I'm going to give it a couple of minutes because I still need to look for myself. And in the meantime, if you are already in here, if you can let me know if you can hear me and see me good. Okay, I'm going to wear these because I'm blind. Hola Ramona, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo te encuentras? Hola Tammy. I think it was you who I saw. Hola Heidi, how are you? Thank you ladies for joining me today. I said, Iris, hola mom, how are you? Iris, I was like, let me send her a message. So I hope that helped. Let's see here. Well, it did, you know, because you're here, right? Okay, so just give me 1 second. So sorry. I don't even know why I even bother with this. I can never seem to find myself. All right. So today we are with the Bright Ideas Crafters and Marketplace, and we are. Marshmallow, what are you doing? Something to good. Driving, but you're listening. Okay, excellent. Drive safe. All right. So you know what? I'm not even gonna bother with that. I don't even know why I even try. I'm always thinking I got this. Okay, so, oh, sorry about that. Let me get in here because I'm not going to be able to see comments. Last time I was in here, I thought I was watching, and apparently I was watching Fridays. And I'm like, oh, yeah, was it? No, it wasn't Friday. It was Wednesdays or whatever day it was. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so dumb. Okay. Hola Debbie, ¿cómo estás, amiga? Gracias por conectarte. Hola Dee, how are you? Okay, thank you for sharing me out. Because I am also someone that seems to forget. But you know what? Today, now that I'm mentioning it, I am going to come in here and do it now that I have this in my hand. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to put this over here. Hopefully I'll be able to read some of the comments. If not, I'm just going to be able to read whatever's in front of me. Hola, Jamie, ¿cómo estás? Thank you, everyone, for being here. Where is the camera? There. Okay. So today, of course, I am going to be doing some realistic fake bake. You know, I'm going back to my roots. And, of course, today is Happily Ever After. Apple. Did I pronounce that right? Anyways. Okay. So I already showed you before how I did my cinnamon. And this is one of my big, huge cinnamons that I've done maybe like almost a year ago, give or take. Amazon is sending me information. Oh, that's good. Let me turn this off. Let's see. No. You're going to keep hearing that. Okay. So I did this, of course. So today I am going to be doing, here I have some little ones. Mira, pa que vean. Where's it? Okay. Some little ones that I have done I did these last night, so you can still see the coffee, there. It's soaking up all that juice. Now if I want some coffee, no, I don't recommend you do that. The drink I did with the resin. I think, was it a blue one? Was that it? I think maybe it was a blue one. Was it a blue one? I don't have it. But I've done some, I think that's, no, I think I did one that it was supposed to be like, whiskey. And, And then there was another one. I don't have it because I actually do have that sitting in my little bar. So I'm like, might as well put it there. All right. So I am going to be doing a apple, it's a cinnamon apple pie bread. Hola, Ivan, ¿cómo estás? Hola, hola. You think it was okay? Again, if those who are coming in, I can only see one comment at a time. So if I do miss anything, I will reply back to you. But I have my little phone over here on this side, so hopefully I'll be able to catch. If you had a question, I'll be able to catch it on this side. All right, so we are going to be taking off our jewelry because unless you don't care about it, it's going to get all messy. All right, so there's two ways that I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to show you how I did, or how I'm going to do the other. Okay, let me get back in here. All right, so of course we're going to be using the first way I'm going to show you is how, if you want to do it with clay. So here I actually already had measured how much I was going to use for this little pan here, and I think this came from Hobby Lobby. If not, then it's from the dollar store. All right, and then this is 5 by 7. I mean 5 by 3. And they got like 5 of them that come in here. Okay, so we are going to color our clay. Either you can mix a little bit of yellow clay and brown until you get that dough color, or you can use paint. I have done it both ways. Either one is fine, but it all depends on you on what you want to use. Okay, now if you do decide to use paint, then keep in mind that you might want to cover these up by putting some gloves on because it's going to get messy. And also you want to protect your surface, so I am going to be using some wax paper, just because I'm going to have to fit it. Oh, and there he is. Okay, so we're just going to put that there. And then I am going to be mixing some antique white. And then it asks for pale yellow. But since I don't have any, I decided to grab the one that I have back there, and it's yellow. This other one that I have is a little darker. It's like a yellow lemon citrus. But if you have any of this, just add just a little bit of it, okay? So I'm going to use this, and hopefully that this works. If not, then I'm going to be using a little bit of that over there. Thank you for sharing me out. Thank you so much. So let's just, these been sitting there since I don't know when, since I decided to put them back there. I have never used them, so I guess they're perfect now. All right, so I'm just gonna put some of these, pour a little bit of this. Oh, again, we want to get the color, see, it's not dried. I think this is gonna work. Let's do 2 at a time and see what happens, okay? We want it to look like dough. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit more of that because I feel like maybe this is not going to be enough. So always best to do a little at a time, until you get the color that you want, because if you do a lot, you can't go back. All right, so here we go. And we're just going to mix that up. Now you can hear that. I don't know if you can hear it. Like all that popping going on in there. Okay, so it's turning color, and it's turning the color that I want. So I'm just going to make sure that it's all blend in there. Okay, hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. I was able today to watch some of the girls, so I was like, okay, good. Because when I can't, I feel bad. I'm like, oh. But I still miss some, so I'm still gonna go back and then watch the replays. Okay, so I think I'm going to be needing to add a little more. Let's add a little bit more of the yellow. I want to make sure, because I don't want it also to be too yellow. Okay. And then, of course, you always want to make sure that you have like a white piece, which I have it sitting right over there, because otherwise it's going to get everywhere. Yesterday when I was doing this, my hands were, actually I was mixing coffee, the coffee grind, from, what is her name? From My Sweet Home Living, Tracey. When she first came out with this, I was like, OMG, you know. Hola Rita, was that you? Yes, Rita, ¿cómo estás? How are you, my friend? Hola Joanne, how are you? And, yes, so, she gave us the list, which I was like, yay, because it's there too. But I can read the list out to you if you would like, if you want to mix this. And it's, do not drink it. Even if you have no more coffee, don't drink it. Because, I mean, when I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, this smells so good. But it takes 1 cup of hot water. Let's see here. And this is for the ingredients, okay? And then you put a 1/2 cup of instant coffee, whatever brand, buy the cheapest one. Don't go spending money on, you know, I bought all of these things over at the dollar store. Not the Dollar Tree, I think I got it. Hola, Mary, ¿cómo estás? It's good to have you here. And then it's 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. And then you want to put this, yay, you made it on time. Woo-hoo. you want to add this into a glass, a jar, because you're going to store it in your fridge. And every now and then go and shake it up just so it won't dry up. I had mine, which is right here. And of course I added like the little label. And every now and then I just go in and shake it up, you know, because you can see the coffee sitting. You want to make sure it's closed first before you shake it. So what not to do. But yeah, so you wanna shake it up because it all sits there. So every now and then you want to come in and shake it a bit. This been sitting there, like, my gosh, since the last time I was doing this almost a year ago, you know, and it's still good. So, and then of course I had to clean it because there was a lot dripping there, but it's there. So let me just put that there. Anyway, so okay, so I think this should be good. Now again, this is totally up to you if you want to use this much clay. Okay, if you don't want to use this, then I'm going to show you another way we can do this as well. All right, so here is my pan. And then I should have done more. No, that's okay. Give me 1 minute. I'm sorry. All right, so I think I should have done more. So we're just going to place this in here. Of course, you can add, you don't have to do this much, because if this is just going to be sitting there, then that's perfect. You can add something underneath. Hola, Gloria, ¿cómo estás? You can add, thank you for coming in. You can add something underneath and then just raise up your dough. Okay, and it can just sit like that. But like I said, it's up to you. I should have grabbed something, but let me see if I'm going to try to mold this into where I can let it sit up. If it's away from the corners, that again, it's yours. You can do it however you want. But like I said, I should have grabbed more and mixed them more up, but this should be fine. Let me see here. So here it is. And then I'm going to try to see if I can push it like towards the corners just a little bit. Now, once you add this, this will get stuck in there, and of course it's going to be heavy for a while because this is a lot of clay, and a size this big takes a couple of days for it to completely dry. So right now it's heavy. This one right here, it's very light. Unlike these right here, because they were made last night, they're still a little bit heavy. And of course, they're not completely dry from the bottom. So you can see there is still dripping. I would have to take it off and let it completely dry. And then that right there, I can just pour it back in there and I can reuse that. Okay, so there's my piece. The top doesn't have to be even. It can be, you know, if you ever made bread and or biscuits or whatever, it never comes out perfect. You know, it has to have indigens, I think it's called, enum. So I do not. Well, let me see. Maybe I have. Maybe not. Yes, I do. Okay, so we're going to try to see. I'm gonna try to see if I can do this like on the side, so it really doesn't matter. Okay, no, it does not. So I'm just going to be pressing this down. Something. Oh, what? So something like that. Okay. So I wanted to make it look more realistic. Of course, this is really, once it dries up, it's not going to be this noticeable, but it'll make it look more realistic. So, all right, and it doesn't have camera. Again, it doesn't have to look perfect. I feel like I'm there. Okay, so now that's that. We did that. We're going to grab, where did I leave it at? We're going to grab a brush. No, that's not the brush. Let me grab this. I threw my brush inside my water again. Okay, so we're going to grab our coffee mix here. Okay, and then we're just going to paint or brush it, not paint, but brush it. And this is going to give it that more realistic look to it. You're going to want to let it dry in between, because otherwise if you just keep brushing it over and over, you're really not doing anything to it. So I'm going to let it dry in between. And this smells so good. So freaking good. Okay. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. We're almost done with the week. Almost at the end. Well, we're in the middle. But still. Still. So I can't wait. That's Sunday I went thrifting. And I'm thinking about doing that again, because the stuff that I find, I love to display it. So when I make this, I just like displaying it in my kitchen, in my dining room, and I just love when my kids come over. And I mean, my kids right now is just my daughter-in-law and my son, but still, you know, they come over, or my sisters, you know. And I like to get nice compliments, you know. So I actually have to make more pies because my sister took the ones that I had, the ones that I made here with you guys. The blueberry, what was it, the other one? Cherry, I think it was, or the raspberry. So I have to make more. So I figured, you know what? Why not make them here with y'all in case y'all missed those, then I can show you. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry because, there. All right, so we're still going to need a long way to go with this one. I'm just going to put this to the side. All right, so let's say you don't have, or you don't want to use that much clay. Okay, the other way that we can do is the ceiling. This is for like the windows. So this actually is half of it because I had done this a while back as well. And this foil, well, not this one, not this small, but it was a larger one. When I poured that in there, it was hard. It actually sunk this in. So it was like in like that. It was looking really weird. So I had to rip it off and pull it out. So, and as you can see, it's like, it's not a, this darn camera is not flat. So it doesn't really matter, but it is wider than so you can see that. So I'm not going to be using this in there. I'm going to actually place this on a plate. But before I do that, I do want to flatten it a little bit. So I am just going to cut this to flatten it. Okay. And this is a bit hard, as you can see. Okay. That was that. Not that hard. All right. So now that it's flat, we are going to paint this. Now, when I paint these, I like to use, this is my to-go paint right here color. And this is a Moose Bear. So this is the one that I love to use the most. If I do not have this, or because I ran out, then I like to use Carmel. Or I can also use this one, but I have to be like really light with it, which means I have to mix it up with some little bit of white just to lighten it up a bit. So I'm actually going to be using these two because I want it to look like it got burnt on this, on some parts of it. So we're just going to go right ahead and paint this. Let me get a brush. Hola Lulu, ¿cómo estás? Gracias por conectarte. No te he visto en... Ya se me olvidó. It's been some time, girl. Excuse me. Hola Pamela, ¿cómo estás? What am I making today? What am I making? I'm trying to make some realistic bread. Okay. So we're going to go right ahead and paint this. Now, I'm just gonna pour this. I'm not even gonna. Me encanta este color. I really love how this color looks. I love it. So I'm just. Okay, and for this one, I don't know if I'll be able to do it on that one. I think I might be able to, but I am going to. If you decide to make cinnamon rolls, yeah, like the ones I showed you there, and you want it. Our thing today is apple, so we have to use apple. We have to make something out of an apple or make an apple or whichever. Sí, como se está comenzando a ver. And if you ever had like apple bread, then you know that it looks just like this. Yummy. Okay. So I think I poured a little bit too much, but that's okay because I think this is going to be enough to cover the entire thing. So anyway, like I was saying, if you decide to do the cinnamon roll, okay, ves como le puse pieces of apple in there. These are supposed to be my apple. What I did, I went to the dollar store and I bought a couple of these right here. And then you're going to cut these up, little square pieces. They pass for, you can either make like, they almost, you can either be a pineapple or like slices of pineapple or pieces of apple. And then you want to do is that you want to mix them in a bowl and pour, like you want to cut all those small pieces. And you want to try to cut them as small as you can because when you're rolling it up with, and your this there, and it's still dripping. I need to take this out. Otherwise, I'll do this offline. But anyway, you want to cut them small pieces because when you roll it up, your clay is not going to let you. It's going to be like lumpy, you know, and it's not going to look good. So try to cut them as small as you can and then stuff them in there. Come on, Peggy, and this is my first time seeing you. Okay, how do I make the cinnamon or the apples? And welcome. My apologies. Welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Maria. And thank you. And today we are with the Bright Ideas Crafters and Marketplace. Did I say that right, Debbie? And it is a free group if you want to join, if you have not joined. And in there, you can go and see all of the creators that are in the group. And each one have their own style of creations, of creating. Okay, so, and then as well, I'm going to paint all of this también. Yes, this is the other way that you can make the bread. I don't know, is there, how many brands of those window seal are there? I think that I only saw like 2 brands. I don't have a can here because I think I already, let me see. I don't think the brand matters, to be honest with you. So any window sealant, did I say that right? I don't speak very good English. No, but anyway, pour that into one of these, okay, and then let it sit overnight. Do not pour too much in there because otherwise it's gonna blow up. It's just gonna be a hot mess. So just go like almost like halfway, you know, and then it's just going to grow. Keep loosening. Oh, is it acting up? FB is always acting up. And so once it's done, let it sit overnight. But what I do to make sure that it's even after I pour it in there, very carefully, very slowly, I just tap it a little bit to try to even it out. And I'll just constantly keep doing it just like this softly, and then just leave it alone. Don't move it anymore. Just let it be. And then the next, once it's completely dry, then of course you might have to pull it out, because when I did this one, which is was larger, and I did it in one of these foil pans, it sucked the sides in, and then on the bottom, because it's very thin, and it was like a big lump. If you want to use, let's say this, then what you want to do also, for that not to happen, add little pebbles of rocks in there, and that will keep it from doing that. But make sure you have to add quite a few of them. You can also add those pebbles inside a hola Iliana, ¿cómo estás? Gracias por estar aquí. You can add that also, the little pebbles, and if you want to do cupcakes, you know, the paper, you add a little bit in there, and that will prevent it from doing that little lump underneath. And I'll try to keep it as flat. It's not going to be like super flat, but it's going to be flatter. You can also just cut that out, you know, and then you'll get your cupcakes, or the pan, not the pan, but the bread. All right, so I'm almost done with that. I'm just dabbing. Now, I'm not going to do the whole bread because, you know, when we cut this inside, it's actually lighter, right? On the edge, I am going to go in with the darker one because, of course, when we're baking our bread, on the outside, it gets cooked more and darker than on the inside. Unless you burn the whole thing, then. I'm right there with you. Okay, so I'm going to let that because it's kind of getting hard for me to hold it without getting paint. So again, with this right here, very simple. You get these, cut all of them in little pieces. You got kicked out again. But what the heck is going on with... Oh, I'm telling you. I'm going to write them a serious letter. Anyways, so you want to cut these as small as you can. Put them in a container and then add your coffee juice. Okay, once you add those, I know, girl, yesterday I was like, after I made these, I had to go and make some like real cookies because I'm like, I can't. The cinnamon was getting to me. And then just pour this all in there, let it soak in there. Once it's like everything is soaked up, then you want to transfer all of this into another pan or a plate or whichever, and then just get all of that juice out. Just like squeeze it all out, bring it, and then just do all of that. And then whatever's in there, don't throw it away. Save it. Pour it back in there because you can use it again. This was full, and this is how much I've used. And not in this right here, obviously, you know, because I had to pour all of that back in there. But this is what my little apples. Now, if you want to do pineapple, then of course you want to you don't have to add none of that because the pineapple is not dark. But these are supposed to be my little apples, slices of apples. You can also add like little cinnamon in there. you know, like if you want to do this into your pie, you want to add like just add whatever cinnamon. I don't have cinnamon here. Just pour some of that in there, and then cover it up with your clay, which is going to be the crust. And that is just, oh my God, heaven, I tell you. I love it, you know, because it reminds me of well, other than real food, Thanksgiving, like the fall and all of that. Yes, it does. It does. You know, you can use it for so many things. You know, yeah, what else did I... no, I did think just a pie, and I'm trying to think what else have I used that in. So I think it's just the pies and the breads, but that's about it. All right, so we're going to pretend that this is dry. Unfortunately, this is the only piece that I have left. I thought I had more, and now that I'm thinking about it, it's put away. And of course, allá me hace bien, ¿verdad? All right, so you know what? I'm going to actually stuff this in here. Maybe this can hold it, just so I can move. Okay, just so I can work better with la pintura. All right. Ya que we're gonna add some, we're gonna paint this. Let me shake this first. So now we just gotta we need to make a turkey. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. Oh my God, I can't speak today. Conociéndome. I'll mess it up. I'm gonna use the same brush. It doesn't really matter. So that's, I'm just gonna dab this like right on the ends here. So I just gotta pretend like it got a little slightly burnt, a little toasty, not burnt, toasty. Little toasty there. And just probably chinelas, where's it at? Just I don't know what the heck is going on with me today. It's just one of those days. Just one of them days that a girl goes through. Just keeping it silent. And I'm gonna stop singing. Anyways, so you just want to, dab some, like, once it completely dries, and just go in there with the darker paint, and then just, I know it's not gonna happen right now because this is still wet, and I'm probably gonna be lifting up the paint just anywhere. You know what? It's apple something. What is it called? It's not a bread. What is it? It is a bread. So not a donut. Apple filter. Apple something. What is that bread called? My God, is it a donut though? You're probably wondering, what in the heck is she on right now? I don't know. Coffee. What is going on with me? Me están haciendo brujería. The juju. Anyways, where the heck is it at? Okay, so I should have left the fan going. Maybe I would have dried it up a little bit more. Apple bitters. Yeah, thank you. No puedo hablar. Oh my gosh, what's going on with me today? Oh, Lord Jesus, help me. Okay, so it really doesn't matter where you dab the paint as long as you, wherever. Okay, so now I want to put that in here, and I wish that this would have been, I wish I had two with them. Oh no, hold it. This thing is, okay. So I'm going to make like little holes in here so I can jab some of that. Some of those pieces in here. No tengo con qué. Where did I? Let me see. Let me get another little stick. Let me grab this one. Oh, there's a hole right there. Okay, I don't know where the heck my tools went. So I'm going to grab these little small ones and I'm just going to stick them in there to make it look like they're pieces of apple. And I'm going to grab the ones that are darker. You just ate one? Lucky you. I was craving an eclair the other day. And I was like telling myself, I'm going to go get one. But I was like, nah. It's not far, but it's far. If that makes sense. Let me see if I can jab one more in here. So I'm gonna, if you want, I'll leave like the items, not the item, well yeah, that I used today on a list. So if you want to do this, you can go and try it out. Okay, so like I said, it's gonna be a messy. What is up with this camera? Okay, and then you want to shake this up. Let me try to shake this up again. Hope it doesn't spill. Okay, it is. Why in the heck? Maybe these weren't meant to be coiled. I don't know. To have liquid in them. I'm making a big mess here. I'm sorry. All right, then I'm just gonna paint these because I should have soaked them up again, but I did not. Okay. So you can see there are supposed to be like little pieces of apples in there, and I just grabbed the wrong one. I'm gonna continue adding some more, and then once this is completely dried, okay, I'm going to go in with my coffee, and then I'm just gonna start dabbing it to make it give it more of a color to it. Not that this is not enough for, pero I am going to start to make a little bit more realistic, because I don't know. I think this is way too shiny. I hope it, once it dries up, it's not as shiny as it is looking like right now. But anyways, okay, so all right, so I'm gonna let this dry as well, and then I'm gonna show you how I did my cinnamon rolls. Okay, so we're just going to, let me grab, not that one, let me grab this one. Then, que se me caiga ahí. Okay. Alright, so real quick, the cinnamon rolls. I'm still waiting for that bread over there to dry up. I should have, yeah. What, ¿qué hora es? No, ya ven. Okay, so. Alright, so this is going to be a small one, but yeah, ladies are going to get the idea, okay? You can make them as big as you want, depending, depends on you, or as small as you want. I am actually going to be making more, because once, I'm going to toss this over there, and then I'm going to add like all of them going around. So I need them for all of them to be the same size, and let me see, yeah. Okay, and then you see the little mess that I have here. What's in the jar? Coffee? Yes, girls, it's a sip of coffee there. Not the creas. It's I swear. Okay, it's a mix. And tiene water, instant coffee, vanilla extract, a cinnamon. And you just mix it all up in there, and that's what you use. A lot of these, they're not just for fake bakes. You can distress anything to make it look more antique-ish. I've seen people, they'll do that to pictures. And as a matter of fact, I have a... I don't know if you have seen, but at the Dollar Tree, they have that poster, the Independence, Declarations of Independence. So I am actually going to get that. I'm going to crumble it all up, and then I am going to go in with this and just brush the whole piece of paper, a poster, and then I'm going to add that to a picture frame, because I want it to look like it's antique. So this right here, since I'm going to mix this up, might as well just do that to it. No worries. I'm still going to add all of this to that. Because I'm going to need this piece of paper todavía, so no me importa. Coffee grunge. Yes. I think well, it's over on YouTube, but yes, I'll put the ingredients. And Tracey from My Sweet Home Living, she's the one who came up with the recipe, and I've seen like a lot of creators using it. Me being one of them. I love it. So if you're not following her, go follow her, because I see she does like a lot of realistic foods, and she pretty much adds some in everything, not just in the realistic fake bakes, but she also adds some to crafts and stuff like that. So I think that's amazing that she figured that one out, and she shared it with us. So I'm happy she's like, yay. Yeah. So I just given a thank you, a shout out to her, because it is hers. You know. Okay, vamos a ver. Espero que todos tengan un buen día. Y before I forget, Friday coming in here was Spanglish Amigas, and I think we're going to be making ice creams or whatever, something that keeps everyone cool when it's a hot summer day, you know, because it is here. And ¿qué más? And then on Sunday, I'm also going to be coming in here, finishing up my book. And I think it's this camera that I have it set wrong, because it looked like it's más para allá que para acá. Anyways, I'm supposed to be like in the center. Pero, yeah, like I was saying, entonces, I don't like this color. Let's do this one. You're having what? You're having tres leches, cookies, and cream and ice cream. Oh my goodness. You're eating that right now? Oh, is that how you keep yourself cool? Okay. I'm using a different color. Vamos a ver. This one's your thank you. Thank you so much, Tammy. So sweet. Let's see here. What I want to make, actually I was going to make like an upside down cake, but like, no tiene mucho chiste. Okay, so just darken this up. Does that look like dough? No, doesn't really have to, because it's still going to be painted with all of that. Okay, so aquí tenemos el... Hola, Tocaya, ¿cómo estás? Okay, so tenemos el de este, right? And this is going to be another cinnamon bun. So, really, we're going to just roll up a log. Okay, I was going to use this, but this is not letting me. Vamos a mover para allá. Ahorita tengo un mugrero aquí. Forget about it. Okay. Alright, now that we got our log, then we'll just with your finger, you're going to be pressing it down. It does not have to be even, does not have to be the same thickness, just has to be long. En lo que hago, I just keep doing that to it. Pressing it down. This side, at the ends, is going to be a little bit larger. A little bit wider, I meant to say. Okay. Now, the ends, you want to make sure that they're not thin, because when you roll it up, you'll see it's not going to look good, because then it's going to get stuck to the other piece, and it's just not going to. You want it to make it look realistic by letting it make sure that it's a little fatter, if that makes sense. At the bottom, that's the part that does not matter. That can be as thin as you want it to be. Is who diabetic? Oh. I was like, what? I'm sorry. You're having a conversation with somebody else. Okay, now here it's my dough. And then I am going to come in here with my coffee. I have a little bit left here. And I'll get some more if I need more. Okay, entonces con mi scoop, right on the end. Let me move this over here because this camera. Okay. Aquí en la orilla, right on the edge. But starting at the end first, I'm going to add a little bit because since I'm going to roll it up, I want there to be like, que esté gordito. So it can be thick. So I'm just going to roll that up. Because the center, I want it not to be a hollow, but be full with coffee. And you'll see why in a minute. And then I'm just going to add the coffee all on the end. On one side, a little at a time, and this is why I should have done this on the paper because now I'm getting coffee everywhere. Ahora, I'm rolling it up, of course. You can add some of it like going that way, you know, so they can be like little. So when you flatten it, because it's going to be round and it's going to be tall, and then you want to flatten it down so it can fit if you're going to use one of these right here. But you also want there to be, let me show you. Depending on you, because I added little pieces of apple, I wanted mine there to be space. Now, you see right here between those two, there's nothing in there, and that means by no coffee or anything like that. But if you wanted there to be coffee, but donde se salga, como on this, no, this one you can't see tampoco. It depends on you. Or you can just add it on the ends. You don't have to also add nothing in there. It's like I said, it's all you. Las apples, I did that after I rolled it up, and then I just stuffed them in there. Where we're going. Ahora, for the cream or the icing, not the cream, the icing, you can either use ¿cómo se llama? Not speckle, caulking, white caulking, and then you mix your white caulking a little bit with Mod Podge. Mix those up together in a little container or in the same bag that you're gonna cut, and then just cut a little piece at the bottom. So when you're drizzling your icing, it won't be like thick. It'll be like really thin line. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just use fabric paint, and and that will work just as fine. Just keep in mind that if the fabric paint is the stick or the slick, I think it's called, I don't remember what it's called, slick or stick, one of those, slick, then the lines are going to be thin. If you want yours to be thick, then use what is the other one called? There's slick, and then what is the other one called? The puffy. Okay, so there is my cinnamon. Hola, Debbie Jean, ¿cómo estás, amiga? ¿Cómo te ha ido? Okay, so let me get this off. Okay, so here is my cinnamon. Now, you see where there are like little gaps? That's where you can go in with your pieces of apple. This is where I say you have to cut them really small so they can fit in there, because otherwise the van está like way too big for something like that. So we're just going to cut one, and I really don't want to. So no, I'm not going to. But if you choose to, you can cut it and then just stick it in, like right in there. Use el palito, little stick, and just stab that baby in there. But maybe we use like something like a little darker, because I think that was a little bit too light. Maybe something like that. I don't know. But anyways, it's up to you. So now we're going to flatten it down. Just a tad. Just a tad. You don't have to do that. You can leave it alone. It's up to you. So we're just going to get this one out. Let me get this one out también. And I'm going to use these. And I'm just going to place that in there. Hola, Nayeli, ¿cómo estás? Gracias por conectarte. Gracias por estar aquí. Okay, so there is my cinnamon, right? We're going to come back in here with our coffee. Where is my brush? This is not my brush. Sticking that one back in the water. Here it is. And I'm not. You can, let's stir it. Because if I shake that baby, it's going to go everywhere again. Okay. And then this, there's some here that is like little dry. Like, I'll grab that también. Because that's more coffee. You know what? Let me see if I can scoop some of the one that I have down here. There. You see that? Or I could grab what's in there. Okay, and then we're just going to paint this. Not paint it, otra vez brush it. Just going to brush that. Brush this. Oh, girl. This is... This is looking yummy. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. Is where it needs to be. Miren. A yum yum. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Yo estoy siendo maravilloso. Yo estoy maravilloso. Miren. Tell me que no se te antoja un cinnamon bun. Yo quiero un cinnamon habano. Look at that. Yum. Okay. So we can let it sit, dry, and then go back in there with it. Or you can wait until it's like this and just go back in here. Like, let me get some of that. Let me get some of that yum yum chocolate chip. Let me need it. Can I get a scoop? You know, but y nomás que se seque, go back in there later, and then siga pintándole with the, keep brushing it with the coffee. Grunge. Okay, ya que está así, entonces I'm going to use this slick. Again, if you don't, aquí tengo el that I mixed caulking, white caulking with Mod Podge. Stir that really good, and then you can add that. But keep in mind that if you have to cut the little tip really small, but it the glue is what's going to make it look a little softer for you to squeeze it out. But right now I'm going to be using this one here because I feel like that will give it more like that realistic look, pero este gives it more of a cleaner look. And I like this one better. And now my hands are getting sticky. So this is a dirty job. Okay, so I want to make sure that there's no bubbles in there. Okay, there's not. And then we're going to start from the bottom over here. And just doing that, and that, and that. The only thing with this right here is not going to stretch. And then there's another thing too with this right here. If you decide to use this, that reminds me of a pecan swirl. Yes! Oh my god, those are yummy. Those are my favorite. I'll eat the whole pack. What is it, like 8, 9 of them that come in a pack? I'll eat them all at one sitting. That's why they're like, no, stay away. But anyway, like I was saying, the only problem with this right here, if you decide to use this, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I just don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out why it happens. But it will start like cracking a little bit. And then let me show you. So, I mean, if it doesn't bother you, then that's fine. Like, for example, right here. Let me see if I can turn that. Do you see that? Where it splits right there? And then look, mira, aquí también. So if that doesn't bother you, then, you know, go for it. Pero if it does, then I suggest you use the other. And that's the the caulking mixed with the Mod Podge. But yeah, and got 5 minutes. Okay, so once I am completely done with the other two, I am going to take a picture of those. Gracias. All you need is coffee, girl. You know what? I am going to be making some coffee, pero mira, ya tengo mi café aquí. Just need that to be real. But yeah, so once it's, like I said, once it's completely dry, then I'll take a picture and I'll share with you. But I need those two there to be completely dry before I finish it, because I still need to do more touch-ups on this one right here. I need to do a paint because I really don't. This is way too shiny for me. But then again, we can make it look like it's a glaze in it. My goodness, I made a boo-boo. I stuck that in there thinking this wasn't going to happen. Ay, Maria, qué puntería. But it looks delicious, right? Want some. But anyways, so here you go. I'm just going to finish this. I'm going to continue doing this right here. But I needed it to be completely dry before I, go in there, because otherwise me touching it when it's wet is just not defeating the purposes where I'm painting it. So I might as well just let it dry, go in there again and what have you. But I wanted to make it look like there's slightly burnt, or not slightly burnt, but well cooked, I guess. Thank you. Gracias, Ivan. Gracias, everyone, for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. ¿Quién va a seguir? ¿Quién es? Tocaya from A to Z Crafts and A to Z Crafts and Decor. Entonces, our Debbie girl is gonna finish the night, and she's going to be coming in after my Tocaya, and I think that's 7 Eastern, 6 Central. So thank you so much. I'm going to load up the ingredients for this one in case y'all want to mix some. And then again, this is just not for fake bakes. You can also use this in your crafts, and it gives it that that antique look to it. If you dab some of that on your stuff, if you like that farm look, farm rustic look to it as well. I am actually, like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing something to it with one of the Decorations of Independence, the poster that they sell over at the Dollar Tree, because I love that whole style looking farmish, antiquish. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, so, okay. Thank you again to everyone. I will catch you on Friday. So, hope you have a great evening. Stay safe. Continue to be nice if you have been nice. Then I'm also going to finish this one because this is not cooked. I need to go cook this. So once this is done, then yeah. And I'm going to set this one in on a plate, and I'm going to invite my kid over on Sunday, see if he wants some. Anyways, my friends, thank you so much. Take care. Love every single one of you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. And for with the rest of the ladies, let's continue watching and supporting every single one of them. And stay safe. Be kind. Bye. So, if y'all make this, let me know, okay? If y'all make it better than me, yay! I will be so happy. Okay, bye.